All right, let's do this. How are you, what the fuckers? What the fucknicks? What the fuck buddies? What's happening? I'm Marc Maron. This is my podcast, ongoing. It's called WTF. We've been doing it here a long time. We've been in business since 2009. Every Monday and Thursday. Huh? Never missed a Monday or Thursday. We've done the show. We've been here for you. Planning on staying here for you. Kate Winslet is on the show today. You know who she is, obviously, Kate Winslet. She's Kate Winslet. She's in this amazing new movie currently called Ammonite. It's an interesting, beautiful art movie, a darkly poetic love story. I don't even know if I'd say it's dark. It takes place in the 1800s. It's about a British paleontologist who is sort of not down on her luck, but she lives in a small southern coastal town with her mother. She doesn't have a lot of money. Male paleontologists steal her discoveries and call them their own. And she was supposedly brilliant. She's historically a real character, played by Kate Winslet. Saoirse Ronan plays a woman who was married to a male paleontologist who was visiting and then leaves his wife there because she's ill and can't travel. And it's what sort of unfolds in this strange little world. I never understand why people make movies like this, but the unfolding of the love story and the unfolding of these two people who, learn to be with each other in this very difficult situation because of who Kate Winslet's character is. But it's an interesting, when I watched the movie, I was completely enthralled with the performances and also with the story, because I don't know who decides to make movies like this. You don't see movies like this much anymore. This type of independent art film. But it's truly a beautiful movie, and it's a challenging. It's not a challenging love story. It's a love story about a challenging love between these two people, and I just I couldn't believe how beautiful it was and how well acted it was. So, because I was so involved with that movie, Kate Winslet and I talk about it at length, and it was very engaging. I'm very happy I have the job I have, talking to Kate Winslet. I did some work with some tools, did some fixing around the house, got the drill out, got the screwdriver out, got the nails, got the hammer. Shade was falling. The trim on the window was detaching. So I had to get up in there, had to find a nail, had to hammer the trim back in, then pull out the screw from the blind and re-screw it in another place because that was causing the problem. So I had to unscrew and screw. And I learned something about tools, not unlike guitar or anything else, is that, I can handle a tool. I can handle a drill, a hammer, screwdriver. I can handle the thing that you putty holes with. I can handle one of those. Well, a wrench, I'm okay with wrenches, socket wrenches, not a problem. I could probably handle a crowbar if necessary. I can handle a shovel. A pick not so much. Picks are tricky. Shovels, I can do a rake, but then I think we're just getting into yard work. Talking the heavy tool, a sander, I can do a sander. Not great with an axe. I can play guitar, but I can't, an axe, I'm not confident with an axe. My point is that I can do these things and I can focus enough in the moment to get the work at hand done. But we expect ourselves to be able to do this stuff because we can handle a tool. But unless you're handling tools all the time, unless you're working with tools on a consistent basis, it's going to be hit or miss. All right? I can do it. I can focus. I can get the job done, but I'm not using tools all the time. I'm not practiced at it. I can't drill behind my back. Can't do any tricks with the drill or the hammer. What's my point? It's crooked. It's crooked. I put it up crooked, and now it's going to be crooked because I handled the tools, but I didn't pay as much attention as I could because in the middle of it, there's a certain panic involved. Like, fuck, how come this not going in far enough? God damn, you don't notice, hey, you're about a half inch off. So this side of it is at a little bit of an angle that I'll notice for the rest of my life. And then you just got to rationalize it, right? I personalized my house. I know it. I did the work. I'm proud of that. I did it poorly, but I did it, and now I'll see it, my poorly done work, for the rest of my life or as long as I'm in this house. But eventually I'll stop noticing it. Eventually things fade. People move on. We'll be reminded, but we'll move on. I was encouraged by an article in a weird way that I saw, because there's a lot of explaining going on. We don't know. I don't know if this country is going to be overrun by fascists eventually. I'm very tired of people talking about like, hey, I don't want the political talk. This isn't political talk. This is the life or death of our form of government talk. That's not political. This is reality. You know, if you're not invested enough to see the truth, which is that there is a kind of crudely organized but very big fascist movement in this country, American nationalists, fascists, they call themselves patriots, yet they're fundamentally un-American because of their lack of respect for the Constitution that guides this country, that it's based on, our democracy. So they are a shameless fascist movement who believes and buys into a fundamental lie about the last election and also a mythology that is incorrect. Two key ingredients of fascists. How do you delude the angry people? How do you trigger them into killing? How do you get them to see everybody but like-minded people as others, as animals, as fodder, as things to be killed or gotten rid of? How do you do that? A lot of answers, a lot of explanations, a lot of speculation. But the one thing I can tell you is that it's happening. It's real. And I got no patience for this conversation around, Twitter shutting people out. Good. You want to talk about censorship and all that garbage and how it's a seed of totalitarianism and it's the free press? It's not the free press. It's a private company, publicly traded, private company, but it makes its own decisions. And for a company, an information distribution company, a content distributor, to make a decision around filtering content that is clearly supporting a fascist movement to overthrow the government of our country, I don't know that that's censorship. That seems pretty practical because everybody wants to survive. People want the freedom to live the life they want to live. And companies want the freedom to exploit those people in a way that doesn't cause the entire fucking thing to go up in flames. I'm not saying it's not a challenging conversation, but it's not censorship in the way that the First Amendment plays into it. Go out and talk all you want. Find another outlet. I'm sorry, sad Trumpy can't just get on TV like an ordinary fucking president and use the bully pulpit there. Why he has to, because it doesn't repeat enough. He can't pound it and pound it and pound it on all levels into people's heads. Fragile people who believe the bullshit, who get triggered by his narcissism. He invented them. He invented their minds. They are extensions of him. It's not political. They may have been angry. There have always been racists and white nationalists and fucking hateful whack jobs in this fucking country. It was built by some. But he activates. He's a radicalizer. So when a private company, or many of them, who make their bucks through content distribution decide, well, this content is dangerous to everybody, that's a private company's decision. In the middle of all this, there's an interview in Scientific American, because everyone's looking for answers. What are we going to do with these people? Well, this is the only thing I've seen, and I've said this before, I'm not claiming to know anything, but I believe that not unlike anything else anyone's passionate about, eventually you lose interest. If it's not in your face all the fucking time, if it's not pounded into you all the time, if your obsession isn't triggered constantly, if you cut the fucking head off the snake. But it's an interview in Scientific American with this thinking human named Bandy X. Lee, who is a forensic psychiatrist and president of the World Mental Health Coalition. And the question presented them, what attracts people to Trump? What is their animus or driving force? And the answer this smart human gave was, the reasons are multiple and varied, but in my recent public service book, profile of a nation, I've outlined two major emotional drives: narcissistic symbiosis and shared psychosis. Does that sound like a relationship you're in? Narcissistic symbiosis refers to the developmental wounds that make the leader-follower relationship magnetically attractive. The leader, hungry for adulation to compensate for an inner lack of self-worth, projects grandiose omnipotence, while the followers, rendered needy by societal stress or developmental injury, yearn for a parental figure. When such wounded individuals are given positions of power, they arouse similar pathology in the population that creates a lock-and-key relationship. Shared psychosis refers to the infectiousness of severe symptoms that goes beyond ordinary group psychology. When a highly symptomatic individual is placed in an influential position, the person's symptoms can spread through the population through emotional bonds, heightening existing pathologies and inducing delusions, paranoia, and propensity for violence, even in previously healthy individuals. I'm quoting this interview with this person, Bandy X. Lee, forensic psychiatrist and president of the World Mental Health Coalition. But here's the line. Here's the line. The treatment is removal of exposure. That's the quote. Okay, how do we stop fascism? How do we stop a violent anti-American coalition being led by the President of the United States, who has just been impeached for causing an insurrection? The treatment is removal of exposure. He's going to be out of office. He's been banned from social media platforms, from propagandizing. So maybe over time, that removal of exposure will settle things down. Or it's just going to be a bloody shit show for the rest of however long this fucking country survives. And I hope they keep arresting these insurrectionists and these seditionists as examples of a rule of law. Anyway, we're doing a little promo swap with an old pal this week. I've known Conan O'Brien for over 25 years, and if you like me, if you like this show, if you like Conan, you'll like Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. I've been on his TV show like dozens and dozens of times, but I was on one of the early episodes of his podcast, and now he's had all kinds of other people on, and it's where Conan just gets to hang out and be himself. So go check it out. You can listen to episodes with everyone from Michelle Obama to Tom Hanks to me, where I told him that he'd probably do okay with this podcast thing. New episodes of Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend are out every Monday, so subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts. Okay? Kate Winslet is an amazing actress, and I had a very good time talking to her. Her new film, Ammonite, is now available on digital platforms and Blu-ray and in selected theaters. She's also starring in the upcoming HBO detective series, Mayor of Easttown. That comes out in April. And this is me talking to the amazing Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet.
Hello. Hi.
How are you?
Super good. Actually, I'm all right. How are you doing?
Fine.
I'd love a cup of tea in half an hour. God, the room service around here, it's just so great.
What a nice husband.
He is a very good husband. Actually, that would be disturbing. Yeah, don't worry. I'll call.
Did they say no?
No. Don't come in half an hour because we will be recording.
Okay,
it's okay. Okay, all right.
I'll bring it now.
No, at the end would be great. Thanks.
Are you guys going to fight? Or is this going to...
No, there's no way we're going to fight. We do sometimes, but it's normally over like who fed the dog or, you know.
The big stuff.
Big stuff.
Yeah.
No, we did have quite a funny argument not very long ago, which was over something so stupid. It was like who had finished the last of some kind of thing I'd made in the fridge. Or
well, how far did that go? How bad did that get?
Not very far. It was just like one of those dumb lockdown grumps that made no sense. You know, just like it's a complete waste of energy. Anyway,
I know. I am. Today's like I woke up in a lockdown frenzy, just aggravated. You?
No, actually. Well, actually.